Okay, so we're coming upon the close of the day, and you can see that it used this small buy area as the target, as the reward zone. Um, that was kind of expected. It's coming out of a flat day. Um, it had buy momentum before, and this target was just way up there, um, too far away. So that's about what 300 pips, 290 pips. So that was just too far out of range. So the more practical things that were to happen is either it was going to stay above this, which if you were using this as a risk zone, it did. I mean, and then also if you're using this as a reward zone, and this as the risk zone, you can also see that it stayed above this line, and hit this as a target here at this time, and then returned to this region, to the upper bound of this region, and then hit the target again, which is attempting to hit it as a target again, the upper bound of the reward region. Okay, so this region was not used yesterday, and only these two regions were used. This as a risk region, and this as a reward region. So this was always defined as a risk region yesterday, and if you had just stayed with that, then you would have been fine. And this as the target. Okay, let's see what is there for the next trading day, which will be after 48 hours, because of the weekend. So that is December 2, I think. December or December 1 for the GMT time, Greenwich Mean Time. So when the market closes in about 2 hours, it'll close. We'll see it have closed around this target boundary, and then we'll have to wait 48 hours for the next to see the next projection. So, but I am going to make that projection now, so we're ready for that when it happens in 2 days. Sorry, I am ready for that. Okay, so here's the what it looks like for when the market opens in 48 hours. And again, it has that that streak, this very long-term target up here. So keep your eye on that. At some point, this is a very heavy long-term target. At some point, that will act as an attractor to the current price, and that's about 300 pips away for now. So this could have something, this probably does have something to do with this current upward trend right here. And this is a very low angle upward trend attraction to this target, but nonetheless probably is why it's in an upward trend right now and being attracted. It's being attracted to this point. Now you can see that there is a lot more interest momentum in this upward trend than there is in this sideways activity here. But this also was upward in nature too, but a little slower. And here it is a little faster, this upward trend. So I think that means that the interest is picking up. But there is always faster reaction to, fear has a faster reaction than greed. And selling has a faster reaction. You can see that actually happened on that day. But it is a very short-term reaction. And So be ready for that to happen too. Okay, so anyway, as far as the regions, we have a lot of, you can see that there is a lot of support here. So a lot of resistance to selling in. In other words, a lot of resistance to selling pressure. So a lot of support for the buy pressure, a lot of resistance for sellers to sell off. That's currently where we're at. This long-term target, which I talked about yesterday, is becoming more practical, I think. Still at 280, but it's looking like it actually has a lot of support for that to happen eventually. As regions, reward regions, here is a reward region to a risk region. Price is currently in this region, but this this is the next region, and this has to be a risk region because it's smaller than this one, so if this is a risk region, this could be a corresponding reward region. And since that's exactly what happened yesterday, that I think is what is very probable to happen. But from my experience, measuring reward and risk regions and reacting correspondingly real time is usually what I have to do with this, and because the probabilities, it's not easy to predict what actually will happen. But differentiating the reward and risk regions for risk management is working. So here is another region, and so let's say, for example, this is 38 pips to 40 pips, right? So these are pretty balanced right here, and in fact, probably what I would do is I wouldn't trade anything. So the current price, starting price here, if it starts here, is already 90 pips. So it's not practical to think that the price will fall under into this region. So that's useless. And if it did, this is what this region would be used for. So the only practical thing to do with this trade is either use this as a risk region for this as a target, or this region as a reward, or to use this region as the risk and this as the reward. This region as the reward. So this is basically a bigger version of what happened yesterday. And so let's see what happens.